Hello and welcome. I'm Alan Thompson, the hardest working realtor in West Volusia, and today I am joined with Jeff Chandler, the Regional Vice President for Metro Public Adjustment. Hey Jeff, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Alan. I appreciate you having me on your show. I have some information I'd like to pass on.
That's perfect. We'll get right into it. Let's start with what exactly is a public adjuster, Jeff?
Basically, what we do is we're an advocate for the policyholder. Many people don't know what a public adjuster is, so we're constantly educating people that are policyholders, people that have property, and we're an advocate for the policyholder. So, Alan, what we do is we are on the other side of the fence, so to speak, from the insurance company. The policyholder or the homeowner hires us to represent them to ensure that they are getting a fair settlement, a complete estimate, and are properly represented by someone who is a trained professional and has the fiduciary responsibility to represent that policyholder.
What you described, that kind of sounds like the insurance company's adjuster. So what's the difference between a public adjuster and the insurance company's adjuster?
Alan, that's a great question. There's basically three types of adjusters. There are three classifications. You have a corporate adjuster. They work for an insurance company. Then you have general adjusters, and general adjusters are independent. They're hired by the insurance company to offload some of the work that needs to be done. So they're general. They work for themselves, but they also get paid by the insurance company. Then the third is a public adjuster. We represent the policyholder. So each state encourages policyholders to look at or talk to a public adjuster, or at least make sure that they understand that there are public adjusters out there that really look at the damage from the homeowner standpoint.
How do you get paid? Do we have to pay you up front? How does that work? Because obviously the insurance adjuster is getting paid by the insurance company, but where does your payment come from?
We get paid out of the proceeds of the insurance settlement. So there's no out-of-pocket expense from the homeowner. I encourage policyholders to call a public adjuster. We're there to avoid turning in frivolous claims or claims that are going to get denied. If you turn in a claim that gets denied, it's a mark on your file, and it can cause some problems in the future. So if you bring a public adjuster, whether it's me or someone else, a public adjuster out, we do a free inspection. We'll look at your policy. We'll talk a little bit about the damage and give you some guidance as far as, whether it should be turned in or not. And it's ultimately up to the policyholder to make that decision.
That takes us into a perfect point. I'm a little bit curious. When should the homeowner call you?
You can call us anytime. We prefer you call us up front when you have damage. We get the process started. We notify the insurance company. We really relieve the homeowner from all the paper writing or letter writing, phone calls, faxing, so on and so forth. We meet with the insurance company. So calling us up front allows us to prepare or do our investigation, get all the information together, the documents, contact the insurance company for you. You can hire us at any point during the claim process. So if you waited and you didn't know what a public adjuster is, and I have that happening a lot of times, where the homeowner doesn't even know about a public adjuster, but talking through a friend, they realize there's somebody out there that can actually represent them. And I get a call, so we can jump in the middle, we can jump in at the end. And even if you have a claim, which this is a good point, say you settled with the insurance company, but after getting into the repairs, you find that I didn't have enough money, or I don't feel I was paid fairly, which unfortunately happens all too often. You can call a public adjuster and we can reopen a claim, even if you've already made repairs. But The challenge is that the insurance company does have the right to look at the damage, so it just makes it more difficult, and it can jeopardize the claim. So it's best to try and call us immediately, but if not, certainly give us a call. With hurricanes, we can go back up to 3 years.
So that's really helpful. They should actually probably reach out to you as soon as they know that there's a possibility of a claim, or even if they're not sure, you can kind of help guide them at that point. If they know about you, as soon as they know that there's property damage and they reach out to you, that's the best bet. But you can go on a hurricane damage, you can go as far as 3 years after the event and review the property to see if there was damage. Do you do a lot of evaluating people's property where maybe they didn't think they had damage at first and now they're finding something, or just didn't know?
Yes. What we do is we do policy reviews, free policy reviews, and that's really important that your viewers understand their policy. Their house is probably one of the most expensive assets, and you really need to understand your policy. We really don't understand our policies. I was that way before I got into the business over 10 years ago. I didn't understand my policy, and I had a bad incident where I had lost shingles, and basically, the agent talked me out of turning in a claim. And then I had damage later, and because I didn't understand my policy, I wound up basically losing a lot of money. I had to pay for the roof, for the majority of the roof myself. So it's important that you understand that.
Wow. So that kind of answers my next question as to why can't my insurance agent make sure I get a fair settlement?
That's another great question. Your agent is not licensed by the state to negotiate. Each state has a strict licensing process, and there's ongoing CE credits that you have to achieve.
If we decide to employ a public adjuster, could that cause problems or delays in our insurance claim?
No, it wouldn't. In fact, I believe it would speed the process up. And the reason for that is that we know the ins and outs of the insurance business. There is, unfortunately, you have to know the process to get your claim moved through quickly. So there's certain things that you have to do. We have a full-time staff at Metro that handles the paper process, contacting the insurance company. So we're on top of it. We are making sure that we get the documents that they need on time. We're reaching out. We already know what needs to be done, whereas most homeowners really kind of unfortunately scratching their heads trying to figure out what's the process, what do I do next? And they really rely on the insurance company for them to do a lot of this. And when you start getting into large losses, a house fire, hurricane damage, the difference in your settlement can be not just thousands, but tens of thousands of dollars. By using a trained professional, we are very detailed. We make sure that you get everything that your policy covers.
So as I understand it, the public adjusters are actually governed by the Department of Banking and Insurance. Is that correct, Jeff?
That's correct.
Okay.
So we're in a regulated field. The Department of Banking and Insurance, watches over the insurance industry. Again, it's highly regulated, and this basically ensures that property owners or policy owners or policy holders, I should say, are treated fairly, and they have a voice, and someone is looking out. Or in this case, it's the state. The state's looking out to make sure that the laws protect them, and this is a good thing. And we're Metro Public Adjustment is always working with the state. We actually are making sure that our adjusters and field claim reps are meeting all the standards. We have a lot of training. We invest a lot of money in training to make sure that everyone that works and meets with the homeowners are doing everything under the guidelines of the state. So that's a great thing for the policyholder.
Perfect. So Jeff, if somebody decides they need your services, how do we reach you? How does somebody get a hold of you?
So there's a few ways you can get in touch with me. You can certainly always call my cell phone, and my number is 609-548-3108. You can also reach me by Facebook. Jeff Chandler you can reach me through Facebook. Certainly text me through my phone number again, 609-548-3108. And you can also Google Metro Public Adjustment. That will get our corporate website. But give me a call directly. I'm always available to take your call.
Perfect. And I do notice that's not a Florida number, but where did we meet again?
So yes, I'm in Florida. I live in Florida, but I do have 30 adjusters that work for me up and down the East Coast. Florida is home for me, although it's a 609 number. But
Jeff and I actually met at the DeLand flea market, so he is very local to the DeLand area.
Yes. I was there the other day.
Yes. So is there anything else, Jeff, that you think we should let all of the viewers know today?
I would just let people know that that a public adjuster is there to represent them. Call a public adjuster at any point through the claim process, at the beginning, at the end. Call us we're a resource for the policyholder. Any questions you have, we'd be more than happy to speak with you and answer questions. But let people know that to avoid getting a light settlement, you really should speak to a professional nowadays. That's really the best protection. And by using a public adjuster, we just like I tell people that do taxes, I hire somebody to do my taxes. I just can't do them they're very difficult. So I use a tax preparer because I know that they're going to cover their cost and then some. And same way with our business. We wind up getting the homeowner 2 and 3 times what they would normally get trying to represent themselves, and not to mention all the time that takes to deal with the insurance company. So there is somebody out there that can help represent you.
Perfect. Hey, Jeff, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you joining me. Guys, thank you for watching.
Thanks a lot, Alan. Take care. Talk to you soon.
All right.